Today, we are looking into the elusive journey of ecco2k that starts from his childhood and resides to the day where he really becomes one of the top musicians and a high profile from is inspiring. In the end, robotic artistic expression has been controversial and complex because of the risks and potential rewards, but it also pushes the boundaries of artistic expression into a promising direction. Born into the extent and multiplied culture of Sweden, Zach Arogundad, also known as ecco2k, started his musical career early on. Being a son of a Nigerian father and a Swedish mother, ecco2k had an environment where various cultures blended together to create his artistic identity, the fact he used to create his unique art now. These two factors, the diversity and the Native American background, provided him with a plethora of influences that shaped his artistic perspective and instilled in him an understanding of the power fusion brings into the arts. From his engaging years, the cross line with music and fashion attracted ecco2k, who showed a pronounced passion for sound and style combination variables. This made him the first not to follow the traditional categorizations. It wasn't just the sounds that made him fall in love with the music and fashion trends, rather, a visual representation and a storytelling aspect of this allure had the same captivating effect. This is, however, an early exposure that will later prove to be a characteristic hallmark of his artist career. As his musical personality developed, rather than following the trends, ecco2k seemed to mirror all his aesthetic choices with his artistic edge. In a period of time when he rapped under Drain Gang, he preferred a distinctive mix of streetwear and DIY fashion, which was willfully exposed through brands like Supreme, Nike, and Adidas. What's more, he has had a close partnership with other projects such as Unknown Death 2002. Both of them are riveted to CD series of Ever Since. As soon as his career as a solo artist took off with the release of ecco2k started to draw influences from high fashion and created stylish looks using exactly pieces from designers likes of Rick Owens, Raf Simons, and Maison Margiela. Being the era that defined a new form of dark and minimalistic fashion, which was similar to the soundscapes of his solo albums. Era was followed by ecco2k's effort to boast the resurrection of advanced fashion by discovering upcoming designers and manufacturers to create visually prominent images with mainly monochrome palettes and some avant-garde flavor. The instrumental thing was that he had begun to work together with fellow Drain Gang members, as well as contribute on different projects like The Trash Island or Gluey. In the meantime, he also focused on his own solo career. The current or peroxide era has seen the turn of ecco2k's style into a techwear aesthetic, which is inspired by the cyberpunk culture, utilizing reflective materials, metal accents, and techwear items from Acronym, Nike ACG, and such Cyberdog brand. This period has witnessed a drop of the long-awaited album E of him, showcasing his continued creative ventures with experimental ambience and an exposition outside the established music mainstream. ecco2k traversed through his teenagerhood, and it was in the digital realm that he discovered and exploited a freedom that was otherwise unavailable. He found that he could collaborate, create, and have fun in the wild world of digital content production. The internet was a game changer for ecco2k, as it became a matter of presenting his newest work and ideas to audiences all over the globe to further build his connections with other artists. He had spent this particular time improving his artistic skills like digital art as well as music production, which was the stepping stone for him as he ventured into the fields of music, fashion, and much more. ecco2k's early life was not just a phase preceding his artistic development, but a very important period that was instrumental in the development of his attitude towards art in general and creativity. Immobilized by a fusion of cultural influences and an insatiable desire to try something new and different, ecco2k set out to make history of the rap industry and fashion lines that currently lead the music and fashion industry. Drain Gang moved on when Denzel, being the guy behind the beat, drew a new era in the underground music, which changed everything ecco2k knew about the scene. In the early times of 2010, the music landscape that appeared to be a labyrinth, ecco2k, along with Blady and Thai Boy Digital, sparked the creative revolution that shaped not only the sound, but the identity of the subculture. This team, first named as Gravity Boy Shield Gang, creatively crafted the inspiration of bridging the divisive musical borders and their cultural beliefs. Their cooperation was not only that of two musicians acting in the ensemble, but also a emergence of creative inspired to produce an auditory and visual reality that unmistakably belonged to them. The easy-to-see diversity in the role of ecco2k within the band, Drain Gang, right after his advent can be considered as the first evidence. Besides reciting, he also contributed visually supporting the group with his art and digital production, which in the end was the major component that integrated in the group composition and color, making it outstanding. The forming of Drain Gang stands for not only a musical connection, it ascertains of the artistic independence and the trail blazing in the digital age with few grievances. While helping Billy transfer emotions from her top hat poetry, the music style, which is based on ethereal sounds, cryptic lyrics, and avant garde production, became the brand of Drain Gang. They nurtured this joint effort that, besides drawing the picture of the music world, sparked the movement that sprang up in the areas of fashion and art and digital culture. With the rise of Drain Gang's influence, so did ecco2k's. Reputation as a vanguard mastermind who could traverse all the obstacles inherent to the process of creating something entirely new. This freshness was brought up by his so-called groundbreaking work. ecco2k's journey from fashion to music can be a modeling example of his career path full of discovery and experiments that are sometimes revolutionary in the creation of the personal style. The plain looking remaining merely as his dressing extension, he seems to be narrating to us about his artistry and his cultural, technological, and futuristic attributes. Throughout, ecco2k created an unmistakably refined look, in which he combined street details with high fashion, which was actually inherent in his unique music style. His early performances usually consist of diverse garments and various accessories, in addition to a masterful utilization of multi-layer stacking, which contributed to the defiance of the norms of the conventional menswear. He developed his own style over time and also started using influences from cyberpunk, tailored, and designer clothes, which reflected intensified and deep interests of artists in the field. Sick. The rapper's experiments in phase where performance wear is melded with clothing of everyday type showed his desire to transcend trends by leading role in shaping tomorrow's world. His collaborations with Baudelaire designers and haute couture houses have climaxed through his career, which has enabled him to tell his multi-identified narratives to his sophisticated clothes and unique edition wares. Such networks served him as the channels through which his permeating status in fashion of that time was demonstrated, and at the same time showcased his conviction in the power of collaboration as a tool for creativity in the arts. A paragraph goes that with this range away from the normal and towards unique visionary, ecco2k's fashion legacy is adding on to his story, illustrating the telltale signs of strong link between the musical and sartorial dominance over him. ecco2k's musical career comprises of much more than just his incredible sound that stimulates all the senses, and his exploration into other creative artists and projects that showcase his unique talents as an artistic chameleon. With his enterprising efforts in fashion and design, his collaboration with coveted branches like Acne Studios and Y3 has helped him express his innovative way of ornamentation, which people can wear in their styling. The ambassador roles are not purely an endorsement, but reflective of extensive inter-industry collaborations that enable ecco2k's distinctive attitude to permeate collections that reflect both his artistic culture and resonate with the audience. As well as fashion collaborations, ecco2k presents his visual components and digital art projections, which contribute to the associations and interactions between his musical stories and the digital surroundings. This is just one example of his work in this domain, which emphasizes his ability to employ digital platforms not just as platforms for communicating, but as sources for innovation. Using this outlet, ecco2k has extended the borders of his artistry realm, imposing some ambiguity about the various art disciplines and becoming a pro-act mindsetter who is broken free from art's toxic classification. Elsewhere, these endorsements of music indicate the rare spirit of creativity which empowers ecco2k to map his way through any artistic field and in any form he deems necessary. The latter scene is the ultimate representation of his artistic vision as he unites art, music, and fashion together to weave a complex tapestry of experiences which offer a strong window into the depth of his creativity. Digital culture has become a major factor in forming ecco2k's creative vision, redefining music and visual arts. ecco2k creates with the digital culture as often as he produces. From the outset, ecco2k has used the internet not only as a means but as an end unto itself. Through this digital realm, he cultivated a completely unique sound and aesthetic that speaks to generation who, being deeply immersed in online culture, are at once online and everything in between. In digital age, platforms like SoundCloud and YouTube became key means of promotion of his music, so he realized that as long as he could avoid controlling hands of a traditional industry, his chance of global audience reach was bigger. This feature of internet ceases his artworks from only being his, but as a collaborative work of artists and creators from all around the world. This in return adds different perspectives and techniques that enrich his work. ecco2k's hyperactive presence on the social media platforms not only has been of help in promoting his work, but also in per se designing a visual component of his music. He combines visuals with music to allow his devoted fans a glimpse of his life and what influences his sound. Hence, he manages his social media platforms like his Instagram account, which appears to be a personal gallery that tells his artistic story, growing his followers who enjoy his creative expression on visual diaries. His digitally smart attitude pours into his music videos and computer art projects, which often share eye-catching images with breathtaking 3D graphics and VFX that break their limits of fanciful and natural reality. ecco2k is continually shifting between online and offline spaces in a truly admirable fashion, making this a clear manifestation of the everlasting effect of digital culture on his art. The unlimited opportunities of the digital space have not only contributed to a boundless and limitless creation of the artist, but also ignite new energies to discover the wonders of the digital dimension by others. To ecco2k, it has set the new standard of music industry and fashion, where art is not only the medium, but also the essence. His success in harmonizing diverse sonic variations and nonconformist fashion style established him as an outstanding figure and a crucial architect of the future aesthetic of contemporary life. He may not have created the sounds per se, but he was adjudged to be responsible for the explosion of audio art, expressing a genuine nexus between the traditional art form and the digital world. The key role that ecco2k played is the fact that artists now can be more expanded in terms of style and projects which they are going to embrace, having as a result a more enriched and powerful creativity field. By his work that rests on emerging and revolving borders, he twists the minds of millions of people around the world who are impressed by authenticity and creativity. The way ecco2k collaborates with leading designers and expands his artistic footprint via digital medium has exemplified that music and fashion could carve out a new path of being refreshing and creative. This is not only a status of his in these part of society, but it also has a payoff that emerging artists and designers follow his lifestyle of such fearless nature in their creative work as that time approaches. ecco2k's impact on the trend continues to footprint in the flow that resembles his own multifaceted way of art, music, and fashion. He has become a torch that sets a new way how art is made, received, and esteemed in the digital world. The innovative approach of ecco2k marked his work as a standout and a true inspiration of the fashion lovers. It is through his contribution that he set benchmarks for both the music and the fashion industry. In a way, ecco2k's career path does gives a sign of his unconstrued dedication for inventiveness and artistic discovery. With his every work, he is sallying forth against the expectation, weave disparate realms, medias, jurisdictions entombed in the variety of cultural influences by which he is capturing and marveling his audience. The new path that he will follow is the center of interest for many. The verses that are yet to come is something that fans and critics can not only listen to, but also eagerly wait for. With the ingrain of this truth in the work of ecco2k, the synergies between the digital and the physical realms continue to dissolve into interchangeable blobs. We therefore get a hint of the future of creative expressions. His partnerships with artists that tweak him are the ones making headlines generally, not forgetting the adoption of new technology and experimental methods by which he makes music is in all sense of the term a focus for him. It therefore won't come as a surprise to see him still at the cutting edge of artistic innovations, being the one that influences culture in unexpected directions. Apart from his music and the fashion, it is the anticipation of what the future projects that he will be developing hold that holds the most sentimentality. At the same time, it reflects the ongoing evolution of a genuine and genius artist.